Other moms stay attractive, maybe you should try harder. My husband sneered. I was exhausted, breastfeeding at 2 a.m. while he spent thousands on her. So I recorded everything and took the house in the divorce. I don't even know where to start. I'm 26, my husband Ryan is 28, and we've been married for 4 years. We have an 8-month-old daughter, Maya, who is literally my entire world. I thought Ryan felt the same way, but apparently I was wrong about everything. This happened 2 days ago, and I'm still in complete shock. I'm a part-time graphic designer working from home since Maya was born, and Ryan teaches 5th grade. Money's been tight since I went part-time, but we're managing, or at least I thought we were. So here's how I found out my life is a lie. Maya had a fever Tuesday night and was super fussy, so I was up with her until like 3 a.m. Ryan's phone kept buzzing on the nightstand, and normally I wouldn't care, but it was so loud and I was trying to get her back to sleep. I grabbed his phone to put it on silent, and that's when I saw the notification. It was from Bumble, not like a welcome back, email, or whatever. It was a message notification from someone named Jess. My stomach literally dropped. We met on Bumble in college, so I know what those notifications look like. But we've been together for 6 years, married for 4. Why would he have a dating app? I'm not usually the type to go through someone's phone, but something felt so wrong. I used his fingerprint, he was dead asleep, and opened it. The message said, "Can't wait to see you this weekend when you're visiting your parents." I wanted to throw up. Ryan told me he was driving to see his parents this Saturday because his mom needed help with some house stuff. It's like a 3-hour drive, so he was planning to stay overnight. I kept scrolling and found weeks of messages. This girl just works at a marketing firm downtown. She's 24, no kids, obviously. They've been talking since January, that's like 3 months. Maya was only 5 months old when this started. The messages made me sick. He was telling her about how complicated his life is, how he loves his daughter but misses his freedom, how he feels trapped in domestic life. He told her he was figuring things out with his marriage. But here's the part that made me lose it completely. In one message, he said, "My wife has been different since the baby. She's always tired and stressed, and honestly, the physical stuff just isn't the same anymore. I need someone who makes me feel like myself again." I literally had to run to the bathroom to throw up. This man watched me go through pregnancy, a traumatic 20-hour labor, breastfeeding struggles, postpartum depression, and his response was to download a dating app because I'm different. I'm different because I made a human. I'm tired because I wake up every 2-3 hours to feed our daughter. I'm stressed because we have a tiny mortgage daycare waiting lists, and I'm trying to rebuild my client base while keeping a baby alive. The worst part? They've already met up twice. Coffee dates that he told me were grabbing drinks with college friends. And this weekend was supposed to be their first, overnight thing. I screenshotted everything before he woke up. I couldn't sleep for the rest of the night, just staring at Maya and wondering how I'm going to handle this. When Ryan got up for work yesterday, I was feeding Maya and trying to act normal. He kissed my forehead and said, "You look tired, babe. Maybe take a nap when Maya goes down." Like he actually cared about me being tired when he's literally the reason I couldn't sleep. I haven't confronted him yet because I don't know what to say. Part of me wants to scream and throw his stuff out the window. Part of me wants to pretend I never saw anything because the thought of being a single mom at 26 is terrifying. We still owe $15,000 on our wedding, plus we have the mortgage, car payments, and Maya's expenses. I make maybe $2,000 a month working part-time, and that's only when I can find childcare or work during naps. Ryan makes $55,000 teaching, which isn't bad, but it's not enough to support 2 households. I keep thinking about how I'll afford daycare if we split up. Full-time daycare here costs like $1,800 a month, which is almost my entire income. My mom lives across the country and can't help. His parents live 3 hours away, and honestly, after this, I don't want to depend on his family for anything. But then I think about Maya. She deserves a dad who's present and committed, not someone who's out there telling other women that his family makes him feel trapped. She deserves to see her mom in a relationship where I'm valued and respected. I'm supposed to be going back to work full-time when Maya turns 1, but now I don't know if that's even possible. What if Ryan fights me for custody? What if I can't afford a lawyer? What if he decides he wants to be with Jess full-time and I lose the house? My best friend Kate thinks I should confront him before this weekend trip, but I'm scared. What if he gets angry and leaves? What if he chooses her? I know that sounds stupid because he's already choosing her, but making it official feels so final. I found myself looking at Jess's Instagram yesterday. I know, torture. She's everything I'm not right now. Skinny, tan, posts pictures of herself at bars and concerts and weekend trips. Her biggest responsibility seems to be her houseplants. Looking at her made me realize how much I've changed since Maya was born. I wear the same 3 nursing-friendly shirts, I haven't had a real haircut in months, and I can't remember the last time I felt sexy or interesting or like anything other than Maya's mom. But is that my fault? Am I supposed to apologize for becoming a mother? For prioritizing our daughter over going out and looking Instagram perfect? Reddit, I'm so lost. I love Ryan, or at least I love who I thought he was. We were best friends in college, and when Maya was born, he seemed so happy to be a dad. But maybe that was all an act. Should I confront him about the dating app? Should I let him go on this weekend trip and see what happens? Should I talk to a lawyer first? I don't even know where to start. Has anyone been through something like this with a baby? How do you rebuild your life when you're responsible for a tiny human who depends on you for everything? I just want to do what's best for Maya, but I have no idea what that is anymore. Update 1. First, thank you to everyone who responded to my original post. So many of you told me to screenshot everything and talk to a lawyer before confronting Ryan. I took that advice and I'm glad I did, because this situation is so much worse than I thought. The last 3 weeks have been the hardest of my life, but also the most eye-opening. I feel like I'm finally seeing my marriage clearly for the first time, and it's devastating. After reading all your comments, I decided I needed to be smart about this. I called my college friend Lisa, who's a family law attorney in the next state over. She couldn't represent me directly, but gave me advice and recommended someone local. Sophia, document everything before you say a word to him. Print the screenshots, check your finances, and get copies of important documents. If he's been deceiving you about this, there might be other things you don't know about. So that's what I did. I went through our joint bank accounts and credit card statements while Ryan was at work and Maya was napping. What I found made me feel sick all over again. Over the past 4 months, Ryan has spent almost $3,000 on things I never knew about. Dinners at restaurants we never went to together, drinks at bars, an overnight hotel stay in February when he told me he was at a teaching conference. Even worse, he paid for a weekend trip to a bed and breakfast last month that I definitely wasn't invited to, $3,000, while I've been clipping coupons and buying generic diapers and stressing about every expense because money is tight. I also found a credit card I didn't know existed. It was in Ryan's name only, with a $5,000 balance. The statements showed charges at lingerie stores, expensive restaurants, even what looked like jewelry purchases. None of it was for me. When I finally confronted him, it was not at all how I planned. I was going to wait until Maya was in bed and have a calm conversation. Instead, he came home from work on Friday talking about his weekend trip to his parents' house, and I just snapped. "How's Jess doing?" I asked. The look on his face told me everything. He went completely white, then red, then started stammering about not knowing what I was talking about. "Ryan, I saw your phone, I saw all the messages. I know about the dating app, the hotel, the secret credit card, everything." He sat down hard on our couch and put his head in his hands. For a minute, I thought he was going to cry and apologize and beg for forgiveness. Instead, he got angry. "You went through my phone? Sophia, that's a huge violation of privacy. How can I trust you if you're going to spy on me?" I literally could not believe what I was hearing. "How can you trust me? Ryan, you've been cheating on me for months." "It's not cheating. We haven't even slept together yet. Jess and I are just friends. She understands what I'm going through. Just friends." That's what he called the woman he was planning to spend the weekend with, who he'd been taking on dates with our money while I ate peanut butter sandwiches for lunch to save money. "What exactly are you going through, Ryan? Because from where I'm sitting, you have a healthy daughter and a wife who loves you." That's when he said the thing that I'll probably never forgive him for. "Sophia, you have no idea how hard this has been for me. You're not the same person I married. Everything is about Maya now. We never have sex, you're always exhausted, you don't care about how you look anymore. I feel like I lost my wife and gained a roommate who happens to take care of our kid." I was holding Maya during this conversation, and I remember looking down at her perfect little face and thinking, "Your daddy is a selfish asshole, but I will never let you think that's normal." Ryan, I'm not the same person you married because I became a mother. That's what happens when you have children. Your priorities change. I'm exhausted because I take care of our daughter 24/7 while also trying to work and manage our household. When exactly am I supposed to have time and energy for hair appointments and gym sessions? Other moms manage to stay attractive and interesting. Look at the women in Maya's music class, they don't look like they've given up on themselves. I wanted to throw something at him. Those women he was talking about, one of them has a nanny and doesn't work. Another one's mom watches her baby 3 days a week so she can go to yoga and get her nails done. The third one told me she spends $200 a month on childcare just so she can exercise. Ryan, those women have help and money that we don't have. I'm doing the best I can with what we have. Well, maybe if you tried harder to get more clients instead of napping when Maya naps, we'd have more money. That's when I knew this marriage was over. This man watched me struggle to pump breast milk between client calls, saw me work on my laptop at 2 a.m. because that was the only quiet time I had, knew I was turning down projects because we couldn't afford childcare, and his conclusion was that I wasn't trying hard enough. The conversation ended with him storming out, saying he needed space to think. He went to his parents' house for the weekend anyway, and I'm 99% sure he wasn't alone. While he was gone, I met with the lawyer Lisa recommended. Her name is Jennifer, and she was incredibly kind but also very direct. Sophia, the secret credit card and hidden expenses are going to work in your favor if you decide to file for divorce. In this state, dissipation of marital assets spending money on an affair is taken seriously in custody and support decisions. I also did something I should have done months ago. I called my mom. I'd been trying to handle everything alone because I didn't want to worry her, but I told her everything. She's flying out next week to help me figure things out. Sweetheart, you are 26 years old with a beautiful baby and a college degree. You have your whole life ahead of you. Don't waste it on a man who thinks becoming a mother made you less valuable. My mom's right. I keep thinking about what I want Maya to learn about relationships, and it's not this. I don't want her to think that having children means you should accept being treated like you're less important, less attractive, less worthy of respect. Ryan came back Sunday night acting like nothing happened. He brought me flowers, grocery store flowers, not even nice ones, and said he'd been thinking about our conversation. He wants to go to couples counseling. I told him I'd think about it, but honestly, I think I'm done. You don't get to cheat on your wife and then blame her for not being fuckable enough 8 months after she had your baby. I have another meeting with Jennifer this week to discuss my options. The thought of being a single mom still terrifies me, but staying married to someone who sees me as a burden terrifies me more. Maya deserves better. And honestly, so do I. Update too. I can't believe I'm writing this update, but here we are. 2 weeks ago, I thought maybe Ryan and I could work things out. We'd been doing couples counseling, and he seemed to be trying. He deleted the dating apps that I knew about, cut contact with Jess, and was actually helping more with Maya. I was cautiously optimistic. Maybe we could save our marriage. Maybe he just needed to understand how his actions affected me. Maybe becoming parents just takes time to figure out together. I was so stupid. Last Thursday, my friend Kate offered to watch Maya for a few hours so I could go to the grocery store alone, something that feels like a vacation when you're a mom. I forgot my wallet and had to come back home to get it. Ryan's car was in the driveway, which was weird because he was supposed to be at a faculty meeting until 5. I walked in and heard voices upstairs. Laughing. A woman laughing. I crept up the stairs and our bedroom door was closed. I could hear Ryan talking to someone, and then I heard her voice clearly. We have to be quick, she'll be back soon. I stood outside my own bedroom door listening to my husband with another woman in the bed where I gave birth to our daughter 8 months ago. I took out my phone and started recording, then opened the door. It wasn't Jess. It was a woman I'd never seen before, blonde, probably early 20s, definitely not wearing much. Ryan scrambled to cover himself and started yelling at me about barging in and not knocking. This is my house, Ryan. My bedroom, what the hell is wrong with you? The girl, her name was Ashley, apparently grabbed her clothes and ran past me without making eye contact. Ryan started putting on his clothes and trying to explain. Sophia, this isn't what it looks like. Ashley is just a friend from the gym. We were just talking and things got carried away. It didn't mean anything. Just talking, in our bed, naked. While I was out buying groceries for our family. Ryan, I am done. This is over. Get out of my house. Our house, Sophia, my name is on the mortgage too. You can't just kick me out. He was right legally, but I was done caring about being reasonable. Fine, then I'm leaving. Maya and I will stay at Kate's until I figure out what to do next. I packed a bag for Maya and me while Ryan followed me around trying to explain. He kept saying it was just physical, that he loved me, that we could work through this. The worst part was when he said, "At least I wasn't emotionally cheating this time. I thought you'd prefer if it was just sex." Just sex. In our marital bed. 8 months after I gave birth to his child. I've been staying at Kate's for a week now. Her husband Tom set up a crib in their guest room and they've been incredible. But I can't live here forever, and I need to figure out what comes next. I met with Jennifer, my lawyer, yesterday and officially filed for divorce. The recording I made, plus all the financial evidence I gathered, means I'm likely to get primary custody and significant support. Sophia, his pattern of behavior shows someone who's prioritizing his desires over his family's well-being. The court will take that into consideration, especially with a baby involved. Ryan has been texting me nonstop, alternating between apologies and anger. Yesterday, he sent me a long message about how young marriages go through rough patches and I'm being too hasty. This morning, he texted that I'm destroying Maya's family and I'll regret this when I'm struggling financially. The money thing still scares me. But I did some calculations with Jennifer, and between child support, spousal support temporary, but enough to get on my feet, and my ability to work more hours once we have a custody schedule, I'll be okay. Not comfortable, but okay. My mom has been here for a week and she's been amazing. She's flying back home tomorrow, but she's already looking into job opportunities in her city, so Maya, and I could move closer to her if I want to. Sweetheart, you're 26. When I was your age, I thought my life was over when your father and I divorced. Instead, it was just beginning. My mom was a single parent, and she built a great life for us. I can do the same for Maya. The hardest part has been the guilt. Maya didn't ask for any of this. She deserves a stable family with 2 parents who love each other. But she also deserves to see her mother being treated with respect and dignity. I keep reminding myself, I didn't break up my family. Ryan did, when he downloaded that dating app in January while I was exclusively breastfeeding our infant daughter. When he spent thousands of our dollars on other women while I worried about every expense. When he brought strangers into our marital bed. I did everything I could to save my marriage. I went to counseling, I tried to be understanding about his adjustment to parenthood, I even tried to be more physically affectionate despite being exhausted and touched out from breastfeeding. But you can't save a marriage when only one person is trying to save it. Tomorrow I'm signing the divorce papers. I'm scared, but I'm also relieved. For the first time in months, I feel like I can breathe. Maya deserves a mom who knows her worth. And I'm going to make sure she grows up knowing hers. Update 3. Hey Reddit. I know it's been a while since my last update, but so many people have been asking for an update, and honestly, I wanted to wait until I had some good news to share. The divorce was finalized 2 months ago. It was messy and expensive, but Jennifer, my lawyer, was amazing, and we got a better outcome than I expected. Here's the custody arrangement. Maya stays with me Sunday night through Thursday morning, then goes to Ryan Friday after daycare until Sunday evening. It's a 60-40 split that works well for both of us. Ryan pays $1,200 a month in child support plus half of daycare costs, and I got to keep the house. He had to refinance to buy out his half of the equity. The financial stuff was the scariest part, but it's working out better than I thought. I'm working full-time again now that Maya's in daycare, and my graphic design business has actually grown a lot. Turns out, when you're not walking on eggshells around a partner who makes you feel like everything you do is wrong, you have a lot more creative energy. I'm making about $4,500 a month now, plus Ryan's support, and we're doing fine. Not rich, but comfortable. Maya's daycare is expensive, but she loves it there, and honestly, having those weekends when she's with Ryan has been crucial for my sanity and career. The biggest surprise? I actually like being a single mom. I mean, it's hard as hell there's no one to tag in when Maya's having a meltdown or when I'm sick or just exhausted. But there's also no one questioning my parenting decisions, no one making me feel guilty for prioritizing Maya, and no one treating our home like a hotel where someone else does all the work. Maya is thriving too. She's 14 months old now, walking everywhere, and has the biggest personality. She loves her daycare friends and seems totally unbothered by going between two houses. Kids are more resilient than we give them credit for. Ryan has actually stepped up as a dad since the divorce. I think having Maya for full weekends forced him to learn how to actually take care of her instead of just being the fun parent, while I handled all the hard stuff. He still has his moments. Last month he brought her back in the same diaper I'd put on her Friday morning, but overall, he's trying. We're not friends, and I don't think we ever will be, but we can co-parent civilly. He's dating someone new, of course, but he's keeping it separate from Maya time, which I appreciate. The biggest change for me personally has been rediscovering who I am outside of being Maya's mom and Ryan's wife. Don't get me wrong, being Maya's mom is still my favorite job, but I'm also Sophia the graphic designer, Sophia the friend, Sophia the woman who reads novels and takes hot baths and goes to yoga classes. I joined a single moms group that meets twice a month, and these women have become some of my closest friends. We do playdates, wine nights, when we can find babysitters, and just support each other through the chaos of single parenting. It's amazing how much easier everything feels when you're surrounded by people who understand your life. Speaking of support, my mom ended up getting a job in my city and moved here 3 months ago. Having family nearby has been a game changer. She watches Maya one evening a week so I can have me time, and Maya absolutely adores her abuela. I'm even dating again, sort of. I met someone through a friend a few weeks ago. His name is David. He's 29, works in IT, and has a 3-year-old daughter from a previous relationship. We've been on a few dates when our kids are with their other parents, and it's been really nice to remember what it feels like to be seen as an interesting, attractive woman again. David gets the single parent thing in a way that childless people just can't. Our first date was coffee at 10 a.m. because that's when we both had free time. Our second date was a quick lunch between his daughter's soccer practice and my meeting with a client. Romance looks different when you're a parent, but it's not less meaningful. I'm not rushing into anything serious. Maya and I are just starting to find our rhythm, and I want to protect that. But it's nice to know that being a divorced single mom at 26 doesn't mean my romantic life is over. Looking back at my original post, I can barely recognize that scared, exhausted woman who thought her life was falling apart. I mean, it was falling apart, but sometimes things need to fall apart before they can be rebuilt into something better. Maya and I have a little house full of plants and art and music. We have dance parties in the kitchen and read the same book 17 times in a row and eat cereal for dinner sometimes when I'm too tired to cook. It's not the life I planned, but it's a good life. It's our life. To anyone reading this who's in a similar situation, yes, it's scary as hell to leave. Yes, single parenting is harder than married parenting in a lot of ways, but being a single parent is so much easier than being married to someone who makes you feel like you're failing at everything. You can do this. Your kids can do this. And you might be surprised by how much better life can be when you stop accepting crumbs and start demanding the respect you deserve. Maya's napping right now, and I have a new client project to work on, but I wanted to share this update because your support meant so much to me during the darkest time of my life. This community helped me realize that I wasn't crazy, I wasn't asking for too much, and I deserved better. Thank you for helping me find my way back to myself. Edit. For those asking about finances, child support plus my income equals about $6,700 month total. Daycare is $1,600 month, mortgage is $1,400, and the rest goes to normal life stuff. It's tight but manageable, and my business keeps growing. The key was realizing that being financially stressed, but independent, is better than being financially stressed and emotionally abused. Edit 2. A lot of people are asking about red flags I missed early in the relationship. Honestly, Ryan wasn't always like this. The selfishness and entitlement really ramped up after Maya was born. I think some people just can't handle not being the center of attention anymore. But if I'm being honest, he was always kind of dismissive when I was stressed or upset, and he never did his share of household work even before the baby. I just made excuses for it, because I loved him and thought that's what relationships were like.